Okay, so I'm filming a new intro. I've actually filmed this video a couple days ago, but haven't been able to upload it to YouTube because it was too big. So I'm filming a new intro, break it into two segments. So this is Denver Dog 1's Most Embarrassing Moments, Part 1. Enjoy! Okay, so embarrassing moments for Denver Dog 1. I'm going to start, kind of go through these in chronological order. So now I've had a lot of embarrassing things happen to me, but these are these are four situations I think you'll appreciate. So number one, second grade, dorky kid, you know, trying to impress the girls, but still thinking they have cooties, all that kind of stuff. Anyway, I also had a crush on my second grade teacher, Mrs. Balf. In my second grade eyes, she was hot. But anyway, so I got a crush on the teacher, but she had some very strict rules. Number one, you never interrupted her. You always raised your hand and you had to wait until you were called upon before you could say anything or ask her a question. The other thing is you always had to ask permission before you left the room. And so one day, Mrs. Balf, she was turned around, she's writing on the chalkboard with her back facing the class. And I started to get nauseous. Something that I had eaten from my Neil Armstrong astronaut lunchbox that day was not settling good in my stomach. She had her back faced to me. She was writing on the board. I was raising my hand, trying to be a good little student. And she didn't see me. And so I'm thinking, do I interrupt? I don't want to be rude and interrupt, trying to be a good little student because I had a crush on Mrs. Balf. I didn't want to get her upset, but I also didn't want to puke in front of everybody in the class. So finally I get to that point. She's not paying attention to me. The hand raising isn't working. So I jump up out of my chair. I take off running for the door to try to make it to the bathroom in time. I get right up by the front door and she sees me running. She steps over, grabs me by the shoulder, turns me around, looks in my face and says, "Where do you think you're going, young man?" And then something like this happened. So I puke all over her legs, all over her dress and her legs and her shoes. You know, whatever, peanut butter jelly sandwich and pudding, you know, whatever I had eaten at lunch, all over the place. So all the kids, you know, second graders, everybody laughed at me. They thought it was hilarious and, you know, it was talked about in school for a while. I was really terribly embarrassed by it, but I did change school policy. After that, Mrs. Balf's class, if you got sick, you just immediately left the class. You didn't have to raise your hand. You didn't have to ask for permission. So I was instrumental in changing school policy. So anyways, that's embarrassment number one for my child. Okay, embarrassing thing number two, high school. I'm like a junior in high school, trying to be cool, but you know, I'm really not. Kind of one of those dorky kids. I was an athlete and all of that, but I wasn't like one of the popular kids in school. So popular kids can get away with all kinds of goofy stuff, and they're still cool because they're popular. It becomes funny. When you're not in the popular club, then you know, sometimes you just come across as a big dork. So anyways, embarrassment number two. You ever had those dreams where you like go to be all of a sudden out in public in your underwear or something like that? Now this was kind of like one of those things, at least for me at the time I thought it was. I happened to oversleep. I got up to get ready for school and it was late, and my mom didn't wake me up. She had an early morning job. Anyways, irregardless, I got up late that morning. I came up. We only had one bathroom in the house. My dad was in there doing something. I was going to be late for school, so I just hurried and I stuck my head in the kitchen sink and kind of washed my hair out a little bit, you know, tried to get my hair combed down a little bit. Pulled some pants and shoes on, went and jumped out in the car. It was in the winter time, so I put a coat on, zipped it up, hustled over to high school, got out. All the kids are just out at their lockers getting ready to go to first period class. Coming in, trying to be cool, you know, "Hey, what's going on, guys?" Take off my coat, hang it up in my locker. My locker partner's looking at me like, "Dude, what's up?" You know, I look down. Oh my gosh, I still have my pajama shirt on. So, you know, like I said, when you're really popular, you can come across as being funny, and it's you know, you're still kind of cool. When you're not in that group, and you're kind of a, you know, in some ways it just comes across as being dorky, something like this.